Hello friends, today let's discuss about one array function map. First of all, I'm a little bit confused initially why this map function is introduced. We have some beautiful for loops with looking great variable I. We can play around like to our heart's wish and we can get any job done. But why this map function? Till today, I'm really getting hard time to understand it. I understand a little bit why this is immutable and we don't have side effect and some kind of high level, but still, I'm still hunting for the answer. Why? But let's not worry about why. If you know why, please leave a comment below. But let's worry about how. I'll try to help you how you can maximum utilize it and try to use it comfortably. The more map function I'm using it, I try to leverage map function wherever I see a use case. So hopefully slowly you'll start also discover the joy of it and use it as per your programming practice. So as always, I start with a simple example because the simple example will help you to understand the concept much better, so that you can use the same similar concept in any difficult or complicated scenarios. Here we have an array like 10, 20 and 30 array of numbers. And if you notice over here, this map function is inside this array. We are not calling externally. Like for example, for loop, different flavor of for loop, we'll call externally and we manipulate this array inside it. But this map function is a function itself available inside this array directly. So we call numbers.map, right? And we pass a callback function here. This is the function, but looks very neat and clean, isn't it? So the map function using as a conjunction of with array function. This is like array function. It looks beautiful, That's the reason most of the developer, including me, like this concise and very simple syntax, because I don't need to loop it and create lots of variable and do a simple task. So this looks very precise and concise syntax with array syntax. Basically, this callback function needs to return something, and this callback function will execute it 3 times, because we have a 3 element 10, 20, 30. So this function will execute how many times? 3 times. Like each time this number will be allocated to the number variable. Number will contain 10 and do whatever the magic you want. The number will contain 20 and do whatever the one you want, and so on. And end of the day, the result, whatever you are returning over here, wait, where is return keyword? Yeah, it is not there yet, because JavaScript nowadays is getting more intelligent day by day, because the way we don't need semicolon, that is the way magically similar way we don't need return as well. That's the magic known as implicit return. Okay, come to the backstory. This callback function needs to return something. So this return data will be piled up into the array again. We'll create a new array. Like for this new array will contain this updated result, in our case 20, 40 and 60. And couple of things to note over here. If you're not returning any array and if you don't need a resultant array, then map is not a solution for you. If you're just trying to iterate and try to call API and log some information and do something and forget about it, then look somewhere else. Look our for different flavor of for loop. Look our for each loop. But use map function if you need to return an array, and this array and that array will be completely different. In most of the cases, the JavaScript is mutable and try to manipulate these numbers, but this map function is immutable. So it doesn't try to change these numbers, because if you use push, pop or some other kind of shift operation, the original array is getting modified. But map function is not modifying the original array, so there is no side effect. It ensures immutability. Nowadays there are lots of tons of articles about the benefit of immutability, benefit of not causing any side effects, which is a good benefits in terms of introducing less bugs. You know what you are trying to do. You can write your test case appropriately. There are some subtle benefits about that, okay? But I want to bore you into those details. So now let's dive into more about this call by function. You've shown the magic, but what is internally about it? How it really feels like? How you can see it? I just visualize person myself. So actually, this call by function looks like this function. So if you just copy this function and paste it over there, it will work exactly like same fashion. So for example, this call by function takes 3 arguments. One is number, another one is index, and third one is array. Array? What does it mean? It is the original array, but why you are passing all the time? That's what you may need it, right? So this number will contain the individual values, for example 10, 20, 30. Index will contain 0, 1, 2, and array each time, like each and every time you will need, if you need it, this array will be available at your doorstep. But is this the only way to create this may function? I don't like the may function, but yeah, you can go with the older approach. So you can create a temporary array, and you can just use a for of loop. This for of is a little bit advanced loop. You can use traditional for loop with integer I or variable I, whatever maybe. So you can just pile up this updated result into this array, and you can print it. It will work exactly same. But which one which one looks good? This one or that one? This one or that one? Of course, MAP is wonderful. Once you understand, MAP is a joy to work. Now, too much talking. Now let's see about little bit code in action. I don't like to type a code and you are watching me typing a code that I feel completely wastes your time and my time. I just copying the snippet for you in handy. So this is the number, right? And this is the may function. Here, let's see if your 2, 20, 40, 60 is returning. If you try to multiply it by 5, then 50, 100 and 500 would return. Okay, so if you want to get the same result using this any different approaches, there are several approaches you can do. This is one of them. So we have a temporary array. Here we not created any temporary array, just send the output. So here we can loop it. This number will be directly the value. So multiplied by number, we can get the result. So let me print this updated number. 5, 50, 100 and 150. Okay. And now let's show you the third useful interesting cases. So as I said just let me comment it out. As I said we can use this may function, and this is a callback function. Okay. This callback function takes 3 arguments, number, index and array. And we are just multiplying by 10 just to be a little bit more creative. That is the only creative I can come up. So we can get the value 100, 200 and 300. Let's say if you want to print number, how the number looks like. Can you guess it? Of course. So 10, 20 and 30, If you try to print index, what is the value? 0, 1 and 2. And if you try to print array, so this each time array will be appearing. So you must be wondering why array each time. There may be some beautiful use cases. I also use some of the, I don't able to recollect at this point in top of my head, but there are some interesting use cases where you want to compare whether this number is available or not. If it is available, do something logic or some kind of, that is not a proper example, but you can try to think through it, but it is available for you. And there is also a third parameter, like this is like context, like this keyword, but I won't dive into detail about that. Maybe I'll create a dedicated tutorial to go into more about that. So hope you understood today a little bit about may function, and have a good day ahead. Bye bye.